Far out in the uncharted backwaters of the unfashionable end of the western spiral arm of the galaxy lies a small, unregarded yellow sun. Orbiting this at a distance of roughly 92 million miles is the utterly insignificant little blue-green planet whose ape-descended life forms are so amazingly primitive that they still think podcasts are a pretty neat idea.
What was that?
I know, but I always try to guess what it is, but I don't know.
It sounds vaguely familiar, but as usual, but I don't know.
It's from a book.
What it is.
Hitchhiker's Guide?
Oh, you got it.
Really?
Look at you. Nicely done. Douglas Adams.
That was kind of a guess. I just was thinking.
I subbed it in at the last second. Like, I had a different quote I was going to do. And literally 15 minutes ago, I sat down and was like, I got to find a Hitchhiker's Guide quote. I think that
which is even better. Well, the fact that I've never read the book or seen the movie.
Yeah,
I've seen the movie.
To get the quote.
I've seen the movie, but it was many, many years ago. And it was the guy from like the British Office, and who's now in like Wakanda movies and stuff. What's the guy's name? Martin Freeman.
Yeah, Martin Freeman.
Was it,
Young Bilbo.
Isn't Martin Freeman the lead in that? I think he's the lead in that.
Yeah. Welcome, Rabbit Fighters, then, friends. I'm Joshua. Would you like to know more?
Yes, I would like to know more. And I'm Private Brian.
I'm Corporal Greg, and I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
We're all doing our parts.
We're all in this together.
I didn't do fucking shit. Wait, actually, I take that back. I would like to be a corporal. So I'm
You're just going to promote yourself?
Promote myself.
Promote yourself.
It's just it's just as ludicrous as this movie. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, like, what happens is like 3 people in a row that outranked you died in like the course of like 30 seconds. So you suddenly became a corporal.
Field promotion.
My leader was the guy that played the catcher in Major League 2 until they got his head blown off. So I basically got instantly promoted.
Oh, man, I never saw Major League 2. I saw Major League 1, and it was pretty good, but it didn't make me like want to run out and see Major League 2.
It's the movie. It's like that kind of movie you see on HBO 1,000 times in the 90s.
We got rid of cable, so it didn't happen for me.
Or something like, he plays the dumb. I think that's Major League 2.
It was like the GoBots of Bull Durham, where it was Bull Durham. Bull Durham came out first, and then they were like, "We're going to do Bull Durham, but like sort of like the Naked Gun version of Bull Durham, but even jerkier."
The first Major League is good.
It's pretty funny. It pales in comparison, in my opinion, to Bull Durham, which I think is a fantastic friggin' movie.
Well. One's trying to be kind of a real movie.
Yeah, exactly. The other one is like the Mad Magazine Bull Durham. I guess
they're both. I guess they're both comedies, but
yeah, Bull Durham is a comedy. It's got tons of funny shit in it. Yeah, but it has.
I wish I knew what the hell this has to do with
real characters
at all. But
edit
Super Troopers. You just said Super Troopers.
Starship Troopers. Whatever.
You know where your allegiances lie.
Okay, well, this is quite another cultural touchstone that we've got on our hands here today. 1997, Starship Troopers, not Super Troopers, Starship Troopers. Directed by Paul Verhoeven. Of such wonderful movies,
Verhoeven,
such highbrow films as Total Recall, RoboCop, Basic Instinct, and of course Showgirls.
Showgirls.
Yeah.
RoboCop, I will defend all day, though.
Basic Instinct's good. So is RoboCop. Total Recall solid.
He has a type, though.
Yeah.
Wait, are you in Total Recall?
the Total Recall is...
That's a good movie.
Oh,
it's a good science fiction movie. I mean, come on.
Okay.
It's as good as RoboCop.
Could be done better. No, RoboCop's a masterpiece. Come on.
Okay.
Nothing at all is wrong with RoboCop.
Get your ass to Mars. What do you mean?
Perfect movie. Schwarzenegger's face getting all like destroyed by the.
You're saying RoboCop is a perfect film?
For what it's supposed to do, it's a perfect movie. Yeah.
RoboCop's awesome, but it's not
awesome. There's like, I got no flaws with it, and it's one of the best endings of a movie I can think of. Dick, you're fired. And
Total
the
Recall
4 turns off, and you can shoot him.
I'm surprised. So no love for Total Recall. I mean, that was a
not no love, but it's not a perfect. It's
not
Total
perfect
Recall.
by
It
any means, but-
has some ludicrous shit in it.
Yeah, it's got so many quotable lines. And
You make me wish I had
Quado.
3 hands.
Yeah. Screw you, Benny. It's like,
Screw you, and he screws them with a
Drill.
drill.
stupid.
It's fucking.
2
That was when
weeks.
That was when Schwarzenegger was getting into his what's Roger Moore. You know, when Roger Moore did like the 70s James Bond movies and they became ludicrous. That's when Schwarzenegger was starting to get to be all about catchphrases and stupid shit. He was like, the movie has to have at least 45 catchphrases that I'd say. They aren't funny, but I think they are.
Consider it a divorce.
Yeah, like everything he does in some of those movies has to have a fucking catchphrase on it. It's like, you know, some screenwriters just following him around being like, okay, I got another one. I like this guy. We should keep him on staff.
You know what? I think Total Recall is good. I don't know.
I thought it was better when I was younger. When I was like, awesome.
I haven't seen it in probably 20 years, but I mean.
All right. Well, Starship Troopers stars a whole bunch of destined for B-movie fame actors, including Casper Van Dien as Johnny Rico, Denise Richards as Carmen Ibanez, probably named after the guitar.
Carmen Ibanez, yeah.
That's how you pronounce that.
She's very.
Dina Meyer as Dizzy Flores, and Neil Patrick Harris as Carl Jenkins. The only non-Hispanic name in the,
in the cast. Except there are no Hispanic people in the cast at all.
So this Starship Troopers was nominated for an Oscar for Best Visual Effects. It lost to Titanic.
Lord.
It was nominated for a Stinker Award, lost to Batman and Robin, and it was nominated and won Fangoria's Chainsaw Award for Best Makeup Creature Effects, winning against Alien Resurrection. So,
oh man, it beat Alien Resurrection. Oh my god,
it is a notable film.
That movie sucked,
but like it had good effects. Oh man,
that's the Jean-Pierre Jeunet one, right?
Yeah, Jean-Pierre Jeunet. Yeah, that had some cool shit in it though, man. The underwater sequence where the alien is swimming after him underwater. Cool, that's awesome. Like, yeah, they
had a lot going for it, but it was also a lot wrong.
Also, really disjointed and fucking weird. Yeah. Those movies, like every director that does an alien movie does their version of the alien movie. It's way different from the other ones. It's they let them just run with them, which is kind of interesting.
I'm gonna say hot take. I actually really like Alien 3.
The prison one?
The prison one. Remember it that well.
It's okay.
I remember it being pretty grim.
It's very grim. It's David Fincher.
Fincher, yeah. So Fincher is not known for his sunshine movies.
I remember the canine xenomorph.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Is this the one where Sigourney Weaver has to melt herself?
Yeah. She goes like full Terminator 2.
Terminator 2 down in the slag. Yeah.
Then it like bursts out of her as she's about to hit the lava. That's pretty cool.
God. Why'd they have to do her like that, man? You can't do Ripley like that. Come on.
Well, speaking of aliens, Starship Troopers sure has a lot of them, doesn't it?
Well, isn't it funny how much we don't want to talk about Starship Troopers? Talk about anything else?
You guys are making it increasingly hard to get back on track.
You know, I wanted to be an entomologist when I was a kid. Speaking of bugs.
So this was my pick because I had never seen this movie, but I heard about it a ton. Like it was. I guess you would call it a cult classic, and I don't know how official that is. But
there's a lot of gifs that refer to Starship Troopers.
It's just one of those movies that I know the references, and you hear about it. And I was thinking, you hear about enough to where you don't know if it's good or not. That's a weird. Like I just never got around to seeing it, and then I remember some people that like it, and I've heard about it a ton. So I was like, all right, let's check it out. And I didn't even know going into it that it was the same director as RoboCop and stuff. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Were you entertained?
Maybe,
were you
kind
not
of
entertained?
Well, I was thinking the whole film going, is this bad on purpose? Like I couldn't really tell. I was like, I know it's satire, but I'm also thinking, is all the shitty acting kind of on purpose, or is it just because it's not like it was this like shoestring budgeted movie? Granted, all the budget went to the special effects, but I mean, it wasn't like a no name director making a shoestring movie.
Right.
So the fact
the
that
Warriors,
the fact that the acting was cheesy and like wooden, it was just I part of me was thinking like, oh, it's on purpose, like to try to make a purposeful B movie. But I don't know if that was the case. After I got through it, I was like, well, maybe it's just bad acting and bad writing. I don't know.
I was so baffled by it the first time my wife and I saw it when we were first dating, and I was like, we just walked out of the theater like, what the fuck? That was so bad. And like my wife was like, there was a butt bug. What was going on with this movie? And we were just like cracking up about the butt bug. And so that's been my memory of it ever since 97 when it came out. And I'd watched it this time and I was like, what the fuck is this movie doing? Like, what is it doing? It's like a guy that walks naked into a party off the street and you're like, what are you doing? I know you came in here for a reason, but like nobody fucking here knows what you're doing, man.
It's a confusing movie.
It's really inscrutable because the book is as Robert Downey Jr. says in the movie Back to School, a crypto-fascist metaphor for nuclear war. But the book is like rah military. It's like it's supposed to be pumping up the military and saying like, hey, we need the military to protect all of our poor scared lasses. And then Verhoeven grew up in Nazi occupied Holland. They said that he read part of this book and that he couldn't finish it because he was just like, this is boring, so he threw it away. It was already called Bug Hunt in Sector 6 or something when they took over.
Outpost 7 or something?
Outpost 6 or 7 or I don't know, something like that. And he took over it. And basically what it seems like, and this is hilarious, is that he was like, I want to make this movie so that I can fuck the book. I can just fuck this guy and his book like as hard as I can. Like he basically bought the rights to the movie so he could destroy it. That's as clean a look as I can get at this.
Do you think he was successful? Like coming out of the movie? Yeah.
No, nothing was successful. That was the problem. Like if he went in to make a satire, it ended up like buying its own fucking line at the end of the movie.
It's weird because I've heard so many times that like Starship Troopers, it's like, oh, it's a parody of fascism. But at no point do they ever like wink at the camera about, oh, see how ridiculous this all is. They play it totally straight. I mean, for God's sake, Neil Patrick Harris was wearing a Goebbels outfit.
Well, that was definitely on purpose. That was like Nazi
gray eyeliner underneath, to have a sallow fucking Nazi.
Yeah, to make him look
like. From what I've read, that it was such heavy-handed satire that no one got it. Like they took it seriously per what the internet says. Like, I don't know if it was the time and the place and when it came out, but it was like so heavy-handed that, like you mentioned, no one could tell that it was a parody or a satire, and just took it at face value for like pro-military. And it wasn't until like a decade plus later that people were like, oh, it was a parody. I mean, something.
I could tell that it was like spoofing all the stuff, like you can tell from the beginning because of the ads that they have. The propaganda ads are clearly like taking the piss out of the military and like the military industrial machine and like, but like they don't follow through with it. They don't have anyone that you like get thrust into the military industrial complex and chewed up and spit out. They have a bunch of like dickbag loser jerks who like are privileged fuckheads, and they get pushed into the military industrial machine because of peer pressure, or something. They're like, I want to go so I can follow my girlfriend into the military. So like, there's no good reasons for anything. They're jerks. They're little turds. I don't care what happens to them. They go into this system, which is designed to grind you up and spit you out. And no one's competent. They have the worst leadership ever. Like nothing goes well. They're fucking morons.
Neil Patrick Harris can totally control ferrets' minds. What are you talking about? That's leadership, man.
And I keep waiting for something meaningful to happen as a satire.
Is this your card? Is this your card? Nope.
I know. Nope.
Want to know more? You want to know more?
You want to know more? I know. They have these slogans and stuff. And like, it's really like a lazy takeover of a known book to try to screw it up. But then he also is like, well, we still have to make a movie. And so it ends up being rah military with all the stuff that Johnny Bravo, Johnny Rico does. Like he sticks the grenade in the big bug and blows it up. And everyone's like, you're a hero, Johnny Bravo. So it ends up like buying its own line. Yeah, great moves, kid. I just promoted you with no chain of command to say so or not.
I want to say that the book ended very much on a, not a cliffhanger, but with no real ending. It was just, it ends with them about to go into battle.
Oh, did you read it?
And that's it. Oh yeah, totally. I was on a quest to read like every Hugo Award-winning novel. It was a long time ago, so I don't remember all the parts of it. But there are some differences. But surprisingly, the movie does follow the majority of the plot of the book, if there is a plot.
Yeah.
There are some major differences. Like in the book, I think Dizzy dies really early on, like 5 minutes in, and also Neil Patrick Harris's character dies like off screen. Like they just talk about, remember Carl? He died. Storm in the Beaches or something like that.
So does he die before or after the co-ed shower scene?
There is alive.
I don't believe there's a co-ed shower scene.
Oh no, the book didn't have that.
Bouncing naked co-ed shower scene. Yeah, they said the book was like devoid of sex. Like it's like that Johnny Rico,
Well, the book
doesn't even kiss anyone. Like
it talks quite a lot about equality of the genders and this future fascist government, this federalist government where you have to be a citizen in order to be able to vote or do anything of value, and the only way to do that is through military service. But it does kind of draw an underline under that men and women are both equally capable of doing that, and Paul Verhoeven probably couldn't think of another way to do that other than to show everybody naked in the shower.
No, he just wanted to show naked people, man.
Show me that.
There was no point to that at all. It was like, what if we had this scene in the script be it just everyone's naked? How about if this scene was everyone's naked?
I mean,
and they were like, great. Hey, all the cast, like 45 of you have to be butt-ass naked in a shower, bouncing around, showing all your parts in this scene. And everyone's like, okay.
It's for art.
Yeah, it's for the art. And I'm sure, I feel bad for these people who were the leads that were probably like, my career's on a rocket ship to the moon. It's Casper Van Dien. It's going to be on every billboard.
I went to Juilliard for this. But that's the thing, is that the sort of to your point, Greg, is that this whole story is supposed to, if it was a parody of fascism, then you'd probably get to the end with some sort of resolution that draws the conclusion that, the system really doesn't work in some way. But the story is, there's an alien race of bugs out there that wants to kill all of humanity. And it looks like the only way you can stop it is with a fascist government that grabs all these kids and turns them into fight machines. Oh, and they win. So maybe fascism is okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem, is they have no guts. It doesn't follow through on anything. They have them turn out to be ultimate fighting machines and win, and they get the brain bug, and they're going to turn the tide of the war. And the three people who vowed to be friends forever, who've gone on all these different adventures, that end up walking alone together out of there being like, look at us three, we made it, and we're the new future of the society and shit. And you're like, so they've learned nothing except that war, yay.
I mean,
and they make it so there isn't any way else, they're bugs, so they're not any kind of humanoid that you can feel bad for. They're screeching bugs that have ravenous appetites for killing everything, and they shoot asteroids at Earth, and they explode the entire city of Buenos Aires in one minor attack. So it's there's no way you can be war is bad in this movie. They set up such giant dominoes that fall one after another that you're there is no other way to think about what they're doing other than yay. When this kid starts to leave, he's I can't, he gets this guy killed in his regiment and he leaves the army. And as he's leaving, his parents die in this massive explosion. So like, what choice does he have? Like none. You've got to fight. So it doesn't have the guts to question anything.
I mean, there was so many weird things in this movie. Like the one thing I kept coming back to was this is the 23rd century and they're using modern like 20th century ammo. Like why?
And the book is like 700 years.
How many rounds of ammunition are they firing?
I know.
Like, don't we have lasers or
I was
anything?
laughing so hard at that.
Assault rifles are the only machine guns is what we got in this.
They have ships. They have giant spaceships that can travel through space and time in seconds. These massive armada fleets of spaceships, but they're cacking at them with AK-47.
And it takes 250 rounds to take down one bug, apparently.
To break a leg off a bug.
It's like they're all just constantly shooting millions of rounds of ammo at these bugs. It's like nothing else. You got nothing by then?
That's it. Like, and then occasionally someone will pull out like a nuclear hand grenade and blow up like 700 bucks. Like, where are these things when you're all dying? Why don't you just have a wagon full of nuclear hand grenades that you walk with? Or better yet, why don't you fly over with a ship and just bomb them from the fucking air?
Nuke the thing from orbit. Like, what?
Nuke it's the only way to be sure. You gotta nuke it for orbit.
I mean, I guess if that were the case, the movie would be 10 minutes long. But I mean...
But they have a scene where bombers come down and wipe out the bugs with like 6 bombs.
Yeah.
It's like, did you run out of those?
Mobile infantry has to mop them up, man.
Why don't you stop making so many like 20 caliber round bullets and like make more nuclear bombs?
They probably made a whole new planet just from like shells.
in boot camp, they actually have lasers. That they're shooting.
Oh yeah,
they're like really low powered. Can you make those higher power?
They seem quite effective. Also, it isn't a planet that any people live on, so they would just destroy the planet. Like, why do they care about preserving the planet? They don't want to live there. It's all bugs.
They got to get the turd bug, the brain bug.
It'd be one thing if the bugs invaded Earth and they took over like South America and you had to go in and eradicate the bugs before they destroyed the world. And you'd be like, well, we can't nuke South America because we want to go back and live there.
That really would have required a higher budget. As it stands, I think it was filmed in like the Badlands of South Dakota, which is pretty cheap.
Is the reason for the bugs
the reason for the bugs?
No. So the humans, are they terraforming and then they've run into conflict with these arachnid things? Absolutely. Like, why are we at war with bugs?
They lob asteroids at Earth.
Yeah, but why?
Full of bugs.
Because the bugs don't like us, man.
No, I thought I read somewhere that we like are in conflict with them because we're trying to take over their planet, so they
hate our freedom. They hate our freedom.
They chuck asteroids at Earth full of bugs, and then they blow up different cities, and like bugs jump off, and they have to kill them before they take over the Earth.
Like asteroids that are capable of going into hyperspace and then coming out of hyperspace, and then hitting your planet. And I guess
exactly the right angle.
Yeah, because wherever your planet is in orbit at whatever period of time, it's going to hit it. Like they know what they're doing.
They also have the giant bugs whose buttholes shoot blasts of laser into space that have endless range and can destroy entire armada-sized fleets of spaceships from their butts. Like, so what the hell?
In the book, there's actually another race of aliens called skinnies, which don't make it into the movie, which I forget what they're supposed to look like, but they're sort of humanoid. And I think like the first half of the book, we're also at war with the skinnies, but then the last half of the book, the skinnies have joined us and are all fighting against. It really muddles the story up quite a bit. So I'm kind of glad that they removed that aspect from the movie. But I mean, that's kind of the laziness of the writing, is that it's just a clear enemy that everyone can root against, and you're not supposed to think about it, which, I mean, is the root of fascism. Just don't think about it, man. Just follow orders and go kill those bugs.
I'd like to clarify. The plot says humans who are now spacefaring conduct colonization missions throughout the galaxy, bringing them into conflict with a race of highly evolved insectoid creatures dubbed arachnids, or derisively bugs.
Yeah, they don't ever say like that we're trying to colonize their planets, but we are getting like close enough that they're now aware of us. I think in the movie, like a bunch of Mormon extremists had colonized something, and then the bugs got there as well.
They made a little tiny base, and
so I guess there's some territorialism there that caused the bugs to shoot an asteroid at Buenos Aires of all places.
Right.
Not during Carnival.
I mean,
they got that steakhouse. I was gonna go there next month. There's a great steakhouse there.
I mean, can we also talk about how we're not pronouncing Ibanez correctly in the whole movie? Why are we saying Carmen Ibanez or something? It was like, it was very bizarre to me. I don't know.
In the book, it's supposed to be a utopian society in the future, and while everyone has ancestry from different races, they've evolved past that, and they don't see color, man. They don't see color in the future.
To being all white. And like, there's this giant army, and I think I counted like 3 black people.
There's 2 black dudes.
In all the regiment of the Starship Trooper clan or whatever. It's like, it doesn't look that evolved to me. Like, there's a lady in one of the ships flying a ship, and there's 3 black people. It's totally evolved society. Like, okay.
I just think Joshua mentioned Dizzy's death, where she's like, "This is cool because we got to bang." Died.
Yeah, I know.
It's like she spit out a starburst that burst.
Yeah, she's like,
it's like
oh, this sucks, but we got to bone. So
it's the whole movie is about winning, right? Because she's like, I finally got to have you, is what she says. It was worth it because I got to have you. It's just like, I finally beat that other girl, this other lady who you were fighting with over for some reason.
Well, I mean, he has no interest in this woman the entire movie. And all of a sudden,
the movie,
lieutenant's like, "Don't pass up a good thing." He's like, "Shit, you know what?
Know.
You're right."
Hey, the Iron Hand guy told me I should go have sex with this lady that I've been pushing away for like 2 years.
My former guidance counselor.
Yeah, my former guidance counselor gave me some guidance to the bedroom. And that was scene 2. He's like, "Hey, who's in there? Who's in the room with you under the bed?" And he's like, "Oh, it's the girl I told you to bang. 20 minutes before you get ready then. I'll give you 20.
You want to borrow my robo arm?"
And that's how humanity lost the war. If only they had mobilized 10 minutes faster. But nope. Rico had to get it in.
Humanity should have lost the war like so many times. Humanity in this movie is the stupidest bunch of morons. Like, everything they do is stupid. Like, every attack they make is the most ill-conceived, stupid bumblefuck attack I've ever seen in a movie. And they somehow survive. You're like,
there's one scene where they're corralling the bugs into a circle, and all of the mobile infantry are in a circle firing inward at each other.
They're shooting at each other. That's what they call a circular firing squad. I was like, how stupid are these dudes?
It's like, it's amazing.
And it's also like, sometimes when you shoot the bug, you need 460 bullets to finally kill it. But that one scene where they rescue Carmen from the cave where they like suck the brain out of her boyfriend, who's, by the way, just a piece of work. They shoot like 15 bugs with like 12 rounds.
Yeah.
They just pile them up. They suddenly are extremely killable. And then the guy like does I'm gonna sacrifice myself with this nuke grenade, why didn't you throw the nuke grenade before?
Well, they're trying to catch the bug, the brain bug alive.
I know, but like when they were being attacked and murdered out in the open all over the place, he's like, I'm going to wait on this one until I'm mortally wounded. And then I'm just going to hold it so that I'll blow up. Like, that's not a tactic, man.
That's like the dumbest part of the movie when they run out of the hole and everyone's like, "We did it, we won." Like, what are you talking about? Like, we just entered the cave. Yeah, everyone's dead. It was 10 seconds ago.
And also, how did you have a giant net for a brain bug? How did you know? Like, you know what? We're going to go down there, and this creature that we've never seen and we've just theorized exists is going to be a big fat bug that we're going to need a big giant net for. that we can haul out of the cave and then tickle.
Man, this is the movie equivalent of the free AOL CD. It's just like everything about it was just like cheesy and shitty, and you're just like, what the fuck? I actually thought the whole propaganda, you want to know more? Like, I thought there was going to be a point to that, but there was nothing to that at all. I was like, I thought there was going to be some sort of like administrative tie-in, or like this just, do you want to know more? Click here. Like, I thought it was going to turn into something. It was like, no, it's just these are stupid propaganda commercials. Johnny Ring gets the orders from command. He looks at the orders, just says, run at bugs, shoot guns at bugs. Like, over that's the only orders he has, all these soldiers. And it's kind of interesting, there's no other race in this whole movie or in the planet besides humans and bugs. Like, there's no other aliens anywhere. Nothing. It's just humans, bugs.
Like he told him, like Joshua said, they took the slims out, right? Like
skinnies.
The skinnies.
You're talking about that was, like any other flora or fauna. Like take Avatar for example. Like James Cameron, like he builds these worlds, and there's like there's believable plants everywhere, and there's like other types of creatures there that are not
rocks
cool to the story, not part of the plot, but they're there to build the world. But Paul Verhoeven, he's just like, we're going to South Dakota. You guys are going to run around and pretend there's bugs out there, and that's all we're doing.
Hell yeah.
And I mean, obviously, we're not really... The movie doesn't operate on logic, but there's just so many stupid things in it that you're like, come on, guys.
Yeah,
I do. It's a bunch of teenagers shooting at fucking bugs for 2 hours. It's like...
I got to have you, Johnny. We got to do it for 20 minutes in a military tent on Bug Planet, and my life is now complete.
Johnny, I'm so cold.
You're such a catch, Johnny.
Yeah.
You're such a catch.
Someone get the fiddle.
Play me out.
Jake Busey gets to survive. I was like, when are they going to kill this guy?
Yeah, how's that guy not dead?
Keep letting him live. Like, God damn it.
It's because
where are all the bugs?
Spiky hair. He's got tips.
You knew Iron Hands had to die, because I was like, well, this guy is like clearly passing on wisdom to the next generation, so he's about to get eaten by a bug.
His death scene was so dumb. Like,
the Captain Quinted him, man.
No, totally. Because they built up to that where he sniped that guy who got taken out by the pterodactyl, and then he tells everyone, "You know what to do if that happens to me." And then he falls down into like the pit, and they bite his legs off.
Yeah,
and then he's like, "You know what to do, Rico." It's like, rescue you because you're still,
you're still
survivable. Like, we could just pull you out right now, dude, and you can get robot legs, ostensibly.
You lost an arm once, obviously, because you have a robot arm. He's like, got the legs.
Rico just blasts him in the chest.
Let's go.
Just like,
shoot him and roll out.
Wait a minute, no, that's not what I thought.
The guy at the recruitment desk when they first come in has no legs. This guy's like, if I don't have legs, I'm not a person. And if I'm not a person, I don't want to die.
I feel like when I said, you know what to do, you guys weren't really listening. Like, I don't know if you know what to do.
They start cauterizing his wounds. He's like, no, not that.
He turned into he turned into Lieutenant Dan really quick. But one of my favorite death, which is ludicrous in this movie, is the she's commands the ship, and she gets crushed by a door.
From Seinfeld. The O. Henry heiress from Seinfeld.
Like, you can't get out fast enough and just
it hits her pelvis, which is not a vital organ. It's like you would have your pelvis crushed, and that would be all.
Pneumatic door just cuts her. Fuck.
Oh no, door!
None of the ships had fucking seatbelts. Like, not a goddamn one. Like, they're flying the shuttle, and they're just sitting in there, just raw dogging the seat, doing flips and shit all over the place.
Raw dogging.
Like, seatbelts.
I love watching Denise Richards fly a plane, too, because she's like looking behind her like the person driving a car in a bad movie. She's like flying through an asteroid field and like looking behind her, talking to this person behind her the whole time. I'm like, shouldn't you pay attention to the 750 asteroids in front of you, you fucking idiot? This movie is like when Trump was campaigning and he kept calling Joe Biden Obama, and people were like, he's not Obama, and he was like, yeah, I meant to do that. I feel like this movie is like that, where the whole movie is like just a shitty movie, but because nobody else can believe that this much effort got put into something this bad, that they're like, yeah, he meant to do it. Yeah, like it's on purpose, of course, because how could it be this misguided?
Otherwise, too afraid to pull the plug on this film.
Why'd you take your helmet off? Because I wanted to win, sir.
What's the other thing? The other thing, the helmets, they bobble up and down like colanders.
They're made out of they look like those foam kids bike helmets.
None of them fit. Like, it's the most important piece of gear you have, apparently, but like none of them fit. Also, why are they shooting at each other when they're fighting bugs who can't shoot? Like in the training thing where the guy gets his head blown up, they're shooting at each other, but like,
I mean, they're shooting get called in to put
they?
Down some sort of like mutiny or something like that at some point.
But they're why would you be? God, they're shooting at each other.
The biggest sin of this whole movie is why are they not using those laser guns on the boats?
I know.
That is the whole takeaway from this film
Also,
is the waste of munitions that's happening.
Nuke the planet. You have hand grenade nukes. I know you have bigger ones. We have crap now. Right now. Fly over, if we had those ships, the planet, and destroy all life on it forever. And that would be the end of the story. But they're like, you know what we should do instead? Just sacrifice hundreds of thousands of people who are like 20 in an endless stupid war that we always lose. Like,
no, it makes more sense. Hand-to-hand combat with bugs.
Hand-to-hand combat with a vastly superior army against a vastly superior army, which just destroys the hell out of you in like seconds.
Just send Denise Richards in. It almost makes sense. It's better if you go in thinking that it's made poorly on purpose. Because if you think that this is a real attempt at like a good sci-fi movie, you're like, wow, this is really shitty. But if someone did this as like it's meant to be shitty in like an ironic way, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty good. Like,
and when I watched it, I got sucked into the movie. You know, it's like getting drunk, you know, where you're like, wow, this is actually like a fun, you know, time. And then like it wears off the next morning. You're like, what a bad night that was. And like, it's like, I saw it last night and was like, huh, how's
Gary Busey's son was here? God, it's fucking weird.
Better than I thought it was going to be. And then like the next morning I was like, that movie sucked. You know, like, the spell wore off of it being entertaining and having cool bugs. I thought the bugs were cool. I'll give it that. They're vicious.
Yeah. How would you compare? Because did this come out the same? I think there was a Jurassic Park movie that came around the same year.
Yeah, Jurassic World.
Jurassic
Park. This is the Lost World. Yeah.
Jurassic Park was 93. The first Jurassic Park was 93.
I think the second one came out at the same year.
Yeah.
But I remember you saying that the special effects in Jurassic Park held up. But yeah, I mean, this is like heavy. I guess this is premier CGI back in the day. So I guess, you know.
It was. The ships look bad. You know, when they flew in for rescue missions and stuff, you could see the like blue screen that they used back then instead of green screen. You could see the like shaky ship crap coming in, and you're like, eh.
But yeah, I think the bugs
look pretty good. Yeah, the bugs look cool, and I think they made real bugs that they shot for these scenes and animated.
Replace the whole cast with bugs. See how it works.
I do think
it's a bug's life.
Yeah, it's a bug's life. A bug's death.
I think they actually do have a parody of this in the movie Ants, the other Bug's Life movie, where the ants are fighting termites
around then.
Yeah, and I think there's some Starship Troopers parody on there.
And I feel like there was a lot of bug movies at one point.
Oh yeah, comets and bug movies.
There was a lot of bug movie, yeah, and there was one with like Jerry Seinfeld was a bee or something.
A bee movie. That's the weirdest movie ever made. I will stand behind that. It's the weirdest movie ever fucking made. Have you never seen Bee Movie?
No, why would I see that?
Oh, God. We have kids, so I have to watch every animated movie ever made. Put Bee Movie on this list.
I've walked in the room and I've been like, what the fuck is happening?
It is like 6 movie plots from 6 different movies stitched together. It's so fucking weird. There's
like a human in love with a bee at some point.
A romantic relationship between Jerry Seinfeld's bee and a woman. There's a honey strike taken on by the bees that goes to the Supreme Court, and the bees win their independence from having to make honey. But then the world falls apart because there's no honey and they don't pollinate anything. And then they have to make a truce with the humans, and it becomes it's like, what the fuck is this?
Do kids understand that?
I watch it with my kids.
I don't think Jerry Seinfeld understands it.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why we stopped making bug movies. I don't know.
This is
fucking stupid.
Fucking weird.
And wasn't there another bug movie with like Sylvester Stallone as a bug?
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone.
Oh yeah, there was.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
Which one is that?
No, Woody Allen. And Sylvester Stallone. That's Ants. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he plays
with a Z
or something. Yeah, Ants. Because his name is Z.
Oh, all right.
This is from the streets.
Get some honey from the bees over there.
Well,
all right. I'm like Dr. Skull. I'm tired of talking about this. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Joshua looked annoyed 20 minutes ago over this. You want to talk about the bee movie?
Someone drop some sugar crystals. I'm gonna get those.
Let's rate. Let's go. Let's rate this stupid movie. All right.
All right.
Let's get this over with.
The scale is it a B movie on the F scale, or is it Seven Samurai / A Bug's Life on the other end of the scale?
Because A Bug's Life is based on the Seven Samurai.
Exactly. Which I think that's what you need to make a good bug movie, is to be based off a Kurosawa film. So,
are you serious? That's what that movie's based off of?
Yeah, Seven Samurai. Yeah, Bug's Life is totally. So is Magnificent Seven. They're all Seven Samurai clones.
I didn't actually like A Bug's Life, though.
Really?
I saw it. So.
Did not like it.
No, we're not getting on Bug's. Nope, we're going to the ratings.
I saw it. I saw it later.
Different bug movie. Different bug movie.
Oh, God.
Who wants to go first?
Joshua, I think you have to go
grade
first.
This turn.
Yeah. Put it in misery for you.
Yeah. It's hard because I would, totally, if it was on and I had nothing better to do, I would totally watch it.
Yeah.
But it's not good on any scale, really. It's bad, and you should feel bad, Paul Verhoeven, for making this. Yeah. I think it'd make a better video game than anything else, but we already have Halo, so that's not even really necessary either. So I don't know. I give it like a C-. I give it a D, but the CGI is really good, and they did do some pretty interesting things with it on the budget they had. Maybe they should have invested in some different actors and a plot that made sense. They maybe some they throw in some of the political commentary in the front to world build to some degree, universe build. Whereas in the book, I think it's like every other chapter, something like that, is a flashback to when he was in school, and it kind of brings that philosophy along throughout the entire story. Whereas this movie, just they're in school and then they're not in school anymore. So yeah, C-. I wish all of the actors had been killed in the first scene.
And then we just had
bugs win
the movie from the bugs perspective, and you could hear them talking to each other.
No, they're in school, and the Iron Hand is giving the speech, and then the asteroid hits them. You just see it, the sky go dark, and then it's just cut to credits.
Because I think it would be cool if they killed all the people, and then they cut to the bug planet, and the bugs were like, "I hope they send some more of those delicious meat bags. This planet is totally devoid of food."
Yeah. I'm glad you chose it because it's fun to talk about, but God, what a shit show.
Yeah. Well, Well, I've said what I want to say already. Probably.
I've said my piece.
I've said my piece. As an action movie, as like something that is entertaining to watch with bugs and stuff like that, I'll give it a C. I think it's a C action movie. I've seen way better action movies. I've seen way better special effects movies, bug movies, monster movies. It's not good at any of that stuff, but it's not horrible at that stuff. It's watchable. I got a little drunk with it when I watched it and thought, it's better than my estimation was.
It's a good analogy, though.
Yeah, but like as a movie that's trying to do or say or be anything, it's an F. There's no fucking point. Like, there's no point in making this. Like, let somebody who loves Starship Troopers, the book, make that movie, and you can make your satire of that type of movie that you or your screenwriter friend put together and make it good. But like, don't like just destroy someone's book because you don't like it and make a half-ass shitty movie that doesn't say anything. So as a movie that's trying to say something, it's a fucking F. It's a C for the action. I mean, put it together, I'll give it like a D plus.
Do you think they're going to do a reboot of Starship Troopers? Like new director, new
nobody
cast,
has any imagination.
Today's CGI. I feel like that's probably the next
Nobody
step.
has any imagination in Hollywood. They're going to, it's all remakes.
Maybe we should do it directed by us.
And then, yeah, like the kids from Indiana Jones. And then what's going to happen is they'll reboot Starship Troopers, and then they'll add music to it, and then it'll become a Broadway musical as well. And then they'll make an adaptation of the Broadway musical into a movie again. That's how everything goes these days.
This is definitely a deep cut in the nice price bin. Double featured with like USA's Up All Night Bikini Car Wash 3 double DVD, like piece of shit movie. Like if it's on it
Up All Night.
If it's on at like 11:30, like yeah, whatever. It's funny, like, you know.
You have insomnia.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not working tomorrow.
Like I could see commercials with like the, you know, your parents love this is the 80s CD, like shit in the middle of this movie, you know.
Yep.
Like breaking this up. I'm like half awake. I'm like, what the fuck? Starship Troopers is on again. Anyways, so yeah, like I said, I think it'd be better if it was meant to be bad, but it's not. And so I'd give it a C minus. Just out of campiness and just out of pure entertainment. Like I said, it's definitely, it strikes me as like a B movie. You know, you watch it for violence and boobies and, you know, like whatever.
It's like a middle school movie, basically.
Whatever.
It seems like it's made by a middle schooler with a lot of money behind him.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a USA Up All Night hoping for a wet t-shirt kind of thing when you're 14. You're like, whatever, you know. So it's stupid. But yeah,
it's raining and all I have on is this white shirt.
Exactly. And you're like, ooh,
leaning in.
14-year-old me was awesome, you know, but that's kind of where it falls. It strikes me, it's weird because I mean it has similar vibes thematically or stylistically like a Total Recall or a RoboCop, but those movies are much better. So I don't know, but just the acting, plot, story is actually unique and whatever the story is, but this is just a bad movie. I mean, it strikes me as a B movie that actually it strikes me as like if it was straight to video for the first one, I would have like those are the expectations I would have expected. Like, oh, this feels like a straight to DVD film.
Yeah.
So the fact that it made it to the box office in general, it's kind of you know what, it should get an award for that.
And you'd be like, hey, the effects for this straight to DVD movie are pretty good. And then you'd probably have a higher estimation of it.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, otherwise. Guys, you should check out this shitty movie I found in the Walmart bin. And
it's got Neil Patrick Harris in it. Can you believe it? He was in a B movie.
Yeah, he could talk to ferrets for some reason, but whatever.
What I think is amazing though, and this is probably the last point I will make, is like everybody keeps defending Paul Verhoeven. Like they defended Showgirls. They're like, no, you don't understand Showgirls. It's actually brilliant. It's a satire. And then like he made Starship Troopers and all these people. I know people that are like, you don't understand Starship Troopers. It's brilliant. It's a satire. I'm like, Stop defending crappy movies.
I understand. It just doesn't.
I understand it.
Yeah.
It isn't good.
God, someone's defending
Why do
Showgirls.
people keep defending these fucking movies?
Everyone's defending Showgirls.
I have talked to multiple people that are like, no, actually, if you watch it again, it's actually a brilliant satire of blah, blah, blah. You're like, no, it isn't. Paul Verhoeven just wanted to see a lot of naked people.
Oh.
And that's it.
I'm going to go see if there's an argument out there for why Showgirls is good. Because
I have heard actors tell me. Actors will always tell me this because they like to do the reverse thing where they're like, "Oh no! I will defend a piece of trash because it requires a lot of effort from me, and I have to pull logical, scarves out of a hat to defend it." And, I think they just want something to defend. Yeah, you're like, it's kind of like
it's a bit like the David Lynch argument that we talked about before, which is oh, it's weird to be weird, and then it's okay, right. But does that make it any good?
No,
but that's kind of the argument they're making is oh, you just
said Basic Instinct is good.
Yeah,
I think Basic Instinct is a good movie. I mean, that was
better than this.
So. Huge.
It's more coherent. It's more coherent than this.
Remember how popular that movie was?
It has no point though.
I mean, mostly for the Sharon Stone scene.
Yeah, sex scenes. Yeah. Again, Paul Verhoeven's a horny man.
It's got a time.
From the Netherlands. And he likes to see ladies in sexual positions. So that's what he wants.
There's no nudity in RoboCop, is there?
I think there has to be.
Yeah, I think RoboCop hangs dong at some point.
I don't know.
Robo-dong.
Drop
Robo-dong.
What's on deck for next week?
Next week is a very special episode.
If we make it to next week, we
are. If we're back,
you never know. A butt bug asteroid might hit our city and explode everybody.
God willing, that'd be amazing. We're hitting episode 20, which is a big landmark. A big landmark next week. Yeah. It is in podcasting world. 20 is a hard one to hit.
I thought 21 was the.
It's a round number, Greg. We're going to celebrate it. All right. So we actually have a special guest who will be joining us, and we will be talking about latter-day Weezer, specifically
our first guest.
Yeah, first guest on Rabbit Fighters. So my buddy Rumman will be joining us. He is a Weezer expert, a noted Weezer expert.
Noted Weezer, Oxford-educated Weezer expert.
You went to Harvard with Rivers.
We will be diving into the album OK Human and also discussing some of their earlier work and comparing notes on whether Rivers Cuomo has lost his damn mind or whether he is unrecognized genius. I think. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
he's on a boat.
Definitely
for the Weezer cruise.
Yep, a cruise.
We're going to get in the Weezer cruise.
So yeah, we'll have a guest, as well as the Get Up Kids and Ozma opening for us, and then